Hi, I'm John Solari, host of The Method Actor Speaks, and today I'm here with this incredibly beautiful lady. So pronounce your name so we don't get it wrong.
Joycelyne.
Ah, what a beautiful name. Now this is The Method Actor Speaks, and we talk about the work and other things that the people are in the field. And I'm really happy today, and I want to, before we get into a lot of this stuff that I want to talk to you about, is tell us a little bit about you, where you're from. And
Well, I'm from California. I was born in St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica, so I'm a native, which is strange because I don't look normal. I mean, I look exotic more or less, and people always say, where are you from, where are you from? And I say, California.
Well, California's a great state. And why did you want to get into the business you're in?
Well, I originally started, I wanted to tap dance, and my mom, I begged her for tap dance lessons. When I was 3.5, I did my first recital. It just happens that I was looking at all these things I pulled out of the garage like a few weeks ago, and I thought I started when I was 4, but it was actually 3.5. And so I started doing this recital, and I was tap dancing around the microphone, and everybody started clapping, and I thought, this is cool. So ever since then, I got to wear these really big red bows on my shoes, and I just looked at my shoes and I just danced around. And that's how I started just getting in that. And then my mother always wanted to act, and so she did a lot of refugee movies.
Really?
And she would drag me on the set, and then my first time I was kind of chubby. I mean, I wasn't like skinny like a refugee, so that kind of didn't work that well because you're supposed to be starved, you know. And
no, you're not starved.
I was not starving. And then also she gave me a perm, and you don't have a refugee with permanent curly hair, so they had to tuck it under, and they said, don't run, don't run. So I'm like walking around looking skinny as I could.
I was looking at something last night that you were on with Wolfgang Puck. You want to tell us a little bit about that? It looked so good. She made these hash browns. It was almost like I was back in a New York diner. And I was looking for the sausage and eggs.
Yes, I put a lot of, it was like a one-dish meal. I had turkey bacon, and then I made, last night I made a pizza with sausage. Oh, you're Italian, you'll appreciate that. 2 kinds of cheeses, mozzarella and cheddar.
Pronounce that again.
Mozzarella.
She says it right. You know, when you come out here, everybody calls it mozzarella. It's not pronounced mozzarella. It's pronounced mozzarella.
I love Italian food. It's my very favorite thing. And my dad made fabulous spaghetti. We had a restaurant, and I got used to just ordering and eating. So I have this huge thing about eating. It's so funny because people think, oh, you eat like a bird. Yeah, like all day over my weight.
Really?
Yeah, I do. But I had to support my habit, so I had to learn how to cook. And so I put a picture of that on. But the oven is made out of 2 different kinds of cooking techniques. It's not just a regular oven, it's a convection oven. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
It's like with hot air, and it circulates, so you don't have to rotate the food. And then it also has a pressure cooker, because what makes your food juicy and cook fast is the pressure and the steam. So everything is moist. The chicken is incredible. Can you imagine a roast chicken that's crispy on the outside and it's moist on the inside? It's so amazing. And then the carrots get like candied because they're the pressure and then the way they're cooked. So it's really fast. I actually had some dinner guests, and I put in this roast when they came, and they went outside to talk, and I go, it's ready. And they're going, it's ready? It's like 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yes.
Wow.
You can do a whole turkey in 2 hours, and these chefs said, oh no, it's going to take 4 hours for this huge turkey. And they were so surprised that they all ordered it because it's just amazing, you know, and it's convenient and it's fast because of the time constraints of, you know, everybody's so busy. So to be able to cook something fast, it's easy.
How did you get involved with that?
Well, actually, I auditioned.
Really?
And I'm so into cooking. I have a cookbook that I wrote. It's called the Frugal Foodie, and it's for people who should be eating regular food instead of fast food, but they don't have any money. You know, it's $20 a week.
Right.
that's what you spend on my cookbook to feed yourself for the whole week.
The whole week?
Yes, I know. It's
Now, what's
really
the name of it
difficult.
again? So, because
It's
I'm
called
very
the-
frugal.
It's called the Frugal Foodie, but foodie had to be spelled with 3 O's because somebody took the 2 O's. And so I was like, shoot. So what I did is I made it like a skewer with, on the cover, I'll have to show that to you. I had to take food and I skewered it to make the O's because I wanted to make it like reasonable. Why did she do that? Why did she make it with 3 O's? And so it would look stupid. And so I thought, well, I have to be creative and think of a way to make it make sense. So that was what I did.
That's really, I mean, I gotta look, and you can get this on Amazon, I would imagine.
It's being edited, so I would say it's going to be sometime in the end of this year.
Oh, well, when
We're
you come
still
back and we'll look at the
working on
menus,
it.
because I love to cook. I never make it the same way. I was on Facebook and I saw this great thing. It's Italians, we don't have recipes. Italian.
Yes, that's what my book is like. It's using stuff in your cupboard at hand.
Yeah.
Instead of a normal recipe book where they say, use this, use this, use this. Well, let's say you're poor, you don't have anything always in your cupboard, so I say variations. You could use this, 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 like if you're making a pizza. And
Well, not only poor, but it's imagination. Right?
It's creative, and,
Right.
and every meal's a little bit different because it's your creation.
Right.
But it's suggested of, like, when I say, what are you going to put on your pizza? Let's say you have leftover bacon. Let's say you have sausage or ham or ground meat. It's not like you have to use this, but you can use this. You have green onions, you have regular onions. There's so many things, but sometimes people get writer's block,
Right.
cooker's block, and you can't think of what you could use. So I give them all these suggestions. And the same thing with sauces. You can substitute, say, vinegar, lemon juice, different kinds of things that work the same way, but instead of being didactic and saying you have to use this, it's just ideas. Like fruit juice, you can add that to a cake, and then let's say just add a little bit less sugar, but just using your ideas. But mainly it's using not convenience foods, using fresh food, because you can buy like a whole sack of potatoes for a couple dollars, or you can buy packaged mashed potatoes, which will go for maybe 3 meals, and only
They
it'll
don't
cost,
taste the same.
right, but it costs more even.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
It costs more, but I see people all the time, that are spending so much money on stuff that costs so much, and it's not cost effective. I mean, you can go to the 99-cent store, you could
I
go
love
to
that
dollar
store.
stores, you can buy a whole,
Trader Joe's.
Eggs.
Yeah, Trader Joe's a little bit.
yeah. I mean, you have to kind of shop and look, because there's good values everywhere, but you just have to buy what's on sale,
Right, you
buy
have
what's
to know
in
what you're
season.
looking for. I mean, if you know how to buy and all this and that. Now, we can really talk about this forever because
Yeah.
I love to cook, and let's get in. Where did you study acting? If you did?
Stella Adler.
Oh,
And I took her master class, and I graduated from UCLA in theater arts and English. That's why I do the writing, journalism. And I took home ec at UCSB because I was always into cooking, and so it's like related.
So
But
you're not
then-
Italian?
Grazie. Yeah. And then let's see. Oh, then I went to the Groundlings because I do stand-up comedy.
Oh,
I have a takeoff on Mae West.
that I would love to see.
I go, is that an egg roll in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me?
An egg roll in your pocket. Okay.
Wait, they call me Mae East.
Nice.
Those of you that haven't tried Asian women, I'll give you a new slant to it. Haven't had many complaints. In fact, most of my men are hungry for more. An hour later.
An hour later. I'm glad you're not politically correct.
Well,
That's
I had
good.
a whole thing I wrote, and I do comedy with magic. I also have
That's right,
a
magic,
thing.
magic. That's
The Magic
interesting.
Castle. I'm going to tell you about the magician. I have a friend, and he does this character called Carlos Caliente, the world's most fascinating man. And so I do it with Mae East, he'll do a thing, and he goes, Carlos wrote the book on the woman, and then he opens the book up, and it's like blank. And so he goes, you crazy fools, nobody, not even Carlos, knows about the woman. So then I come in, and I go, wait a minute. And so then I take the book, and I go, I see you've been shooting blanks. So I said, since nobody reads anyway, let me whip up something, and I take a whip instead of a magic wand and I hit it. And then I make it Victoria's Secrets models.
Wow.
So that's one of our illusions, you know. It's just kind of fun to take something that's, you know,
Sure.
your own character, and then putting it in with some magic kind of makes it more interesting.
And you enjoy what you do, I can see that in your
Well,
face.
it's all fun. I don't feel like I'm ever working, because to get paid to entertain people, make them happy and make them laugh, it's a gift to be able to do that, right? And it's so rewarding to make people happy. I do all these crazy characters I was doing at Princess Spend-A-Lot. I can make your money disappear. But I do that one too, and he does a Swami from Almani. When I got done, a little kid came up to me and he goes, "Thank you, Your Highness, for coming in." I was like, oh, you know, bow. It's just fun to be able to do characters and channel, you know, it'll put me in a trance and I channel different.
How often are you up at the Magic Castle?
Usually a couple times a year. I go there a lot though, just to watch people, because you know, it's so fun. It's so much fun. I love to watch different kinds of acts and see what everybody's doing, and we have a swap meet twice a year, and
Oh, really?
to buy buy things.
Yeah. I remember it was very popular. Is it still as popular as it was back then?
Oh yeah, they remodeled it after the fire.
Oh.
We'll have to get you out there.
Yeah, I used to live up the hill from there when I was living up on Mulholland Drive. You know, we used to pass by there, you know, to go up the street.
It's our 50th anniversary this year.
50 years, wow. Unbelievable. So, and now you were told you have your own company that you do a lot of print work.
Oh,
right?
I have a printing company. I started with entertainment printing. I did over 13,000 actors' headshots. And I did a lot of actors that are my friends, you know, when you work on a set, like I met Bo Derek and we did a movie together, and then she sent people to me, and then her boyfriend John Derek, that's her husband, John Corbett. So I did his stuff, and I take someone's picture and I kind of change it to make it a little bit more interesting. Let's say he had a black and white photo and he was doing a Western band, the John Corbett band, and so I said, why don't we turn it sepia instead of just black and white? So it makes it look kind of interesting, you know, that old fashion. Then I said, do you want borders? He said, yes. So then I found these sloppy borders, like from an old camera. I put them around it. Then I took type that was Western, and I changed a plain black and white picture to something that was memorable. And so that's what's fun, is like creating brochures for people, making presentation folders. Warden Neal, I'm doing a fashion book with him. He did the Bob Hope special, 91 specials for Bob Hope. He did all the old celebrities. So this is fascinating. He's got stories about Debbie Reynolds, Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson, Jack Nicholson, up to Carrie Underwood, Michael Jackson. So I wrote a book with him called, are you ready for this one? Hollywood Undressed. And so...
Well, Stanley, who's coming up after you, he knows about that. Hollywood Get Undressed.
Oh, I knew quite a few. Actually, they were costume designers, but that's another story. This young lady is fabulous,
Fabulous.
so I'm enraptured.
Me too.
Well, this is about, you know, little stories of adventures he's had with these different celebrities, and so it's kind of a tell-all, but, you know, it's just entertaining, and we have a page or so on each character. I call them characters, but they're actually movie stars. And so Warden is still designing, but he's now teaching. So I made this absolutely great presentation folder with a tuxedo, and you open it up, and he puts his press kit in it. And so that's what I love doing. I love being creative and making something for somebody that is unique. Because anybody can print, but can they make something that's, you know, so different and interesting that people are going to say, wow, I'm going to keep this business card because it's different. I should show you Rodney Dangerfield. I made one for him with his buggy eyes.
That I would like to see it. Rodney,
I'll show it to you.
I get no respect.
Yeah, it's, you know, a lot of dead celebrities are still making money.
Yeah, well, some of them are making more money now.
Yes, Elvis.
They make Elvis is, yeah, from what I understand, they're making more money now than they did back then. But now, you're right, and it's really great that you have that.
Yeah, I do a lot of different characters, you know, from all the different people I know.
Now, when you work on a character, let's talk a little bit about the work here. How do you go about that?
Well, I just try to channel and read about what they're doing. Like I wrote a one-woman show on Mae West, and I was researching her to do Mae East, and you can't do Mae East unless you know Mae West.
Right.
You have to start with the original. So I got enough material. I happened to meet somebody that had the rights to her book. So I went through the whole thing, and I just made this show, what I thought was interesting, because she's fabulous lines. I mean, amazing lady.
She was way before her time. Way before her time.
Definitely. And so it just kind of wrote itself. I just stayed up for like a whole week, and every night I like to stay up till 3 in the morning, because that's the best time to write, when it's super quiet and nobody's around and you could just think.
Well, that makes sense. In my youth, that's when I was going out.
Your youth.
My youth.
Now you're doing it. Joe Pesci, your youth.
my youth.
What
That
you
was the
been
judge.
doing, youth, because
Remember the
that's-
judge said that? There was Fred Gwynn, who always hated to be called the Munsters. I remember I picked him up in a cab when I was a cab driver in New York. I picked up his wife, and she said, never call him, about the Munsters. He hated that. My friend Tina Louise, who's a member of the Actors Studio, she hated to be called Ginger,
Oh.
and this and that. She's still as beautiful as ever. She lives in New York now. So what are the projects that you have going? You're so incredible. I can't believe this woman's face. And the energy, that's what it is. The beauty comes out of the creativity that's coming out of you.
Well, I just am going to be finishing, my books and things like that at the moment, and I've got a couple web series that are coming out that I did. I don't know what they're going to call them, because, I've noticed that when you're on IMDb or in different shows, they change the name. And so you think you're in one thing, but then it becomes something else by the time it comes out.
It's the new media coming now, is the web.
Yeah, I really might be working on a new cooking show. It's called Cooking In with Joycelyne. And that's one of my new things. It's just taking the recipes that I'm doing and showing people little tips on how to do things more efficiently and save money, because I see so much waste on, materials and food and things like that, and people are just not maybe aware of what they can do. I see things, I'm big on recycling, I'm big on the environment, and when I see things like that, I was in a hotel last week and my girlfriend was flushing just trash. I go, you can't do that, it wastes water. And I gave her this huge lecture. I said, it's not a trash can. I said, we have a water shortage, we have a drought.
Sure.
And I went through this whole thing, and 2 days later she did it again, and I read her the riot act, and I go, didn't I just tell you this? I can't believe this. What is wrong with you? It's so weird how people don't, and my roommates are like throwing stuff in the trash can that's totally recyclable. I'll go in and I'll go in the trash. The trash can is so big, one time I had to put it down and walk into it and pull out the stuff. And I'll do it too, because I'm so big on it also, cutting up your
Oh yeah, the plastic.
so the birds don't get
killed.
killed.
I do that all the time.
And so many bags. Do you know how much
Yeah, the
plastic
bag.
is stuck in the ocean?
Yeah.
And now I found out that those disposable face wipes are being, clogging up our waterways. People never had that. The old days, they just washed diapers. They didn't keep throwing things away.
Well, it's called being lazy. People don't
Yeah,
know that.
it's-
Can you tell me how much time I did up there?
Time is 9 o'clock.
No.
Oh. No, actually, it's not 9 o'clock. It's
No, it tells you how much time has run by.
you got the right guy,
Okay,
Charlie.
that's all right.
Sure.
You know what we're gonna do? Okay, that's all right then.
What is it? 33P? No.
No, the time is running. What I'll do is let's talk about something. All this, and I want to know more about your acting. And this way I can know how much time you have. Yeah, right here, 1935. We got time. We got 1935. Okay, we're back. I just wanted to make the time so that I know we got about another 10 minutes.
Stan was helpless and useless.
Okay.
Mr.
That's
Solari
because
took
he's
it
from
over.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn, I'm from the Bronx.
Yeah, I'm the Brooklyn accent too.
So tell me about, what do you enjoy the most?
I love doing voiceovers because you can just look any way you want to. And be comfortable, no high heels, right?
Oh, high heels. But voiceover, yeah, but that's an awful hard business to get into.
Well, I've done a bunch of cartoons and things like that.
You do that's
I got
good.
like a lot of different character voices.
Oh, I'm a big fan. I watched the Smurfs in the morning.
Oh, my friend Lucille was a baby Smurfette,
Oh, really?
but she just passed away last year, you know.
Oh.
And she did the ugly sister in Cinderella.
Oh.
Evil.
I do watch the Smurfs in the morning on the Boomerang channel. And instead of watching the news, I put on Cartoon Network.
That's great because I think laughter is like, you know, the best medicine. It's the best thing. I think it makes people happy to start your day with a little bit of humor.
Always, or the end of the day or during the day. I mean, the news to me is always the same thing, just different names.
It's important though, you know. I mean, I'm working also on Stop the Bully with Christina Fulton.
Bullies I never liked. I never had any respect for bullies. You're right. If I could help out there anyway, please let me know. I mean, bullies I've never had any. I mean, they're cowards. They go after people they know they can beat
It's
and pick
sad,
on,
yeah.
you know. I mean, they don't go after, you know, they don't go after people who will stand up to them.
That's why they're safe from, you know, hurting people.
They're cowards. That's what it really is. Insecure people, whether it's in business or what.
It's really sad right now, some of the things that are happening with the, you know, kids that are committing suicide. Remember that?
Yeah, a young girl. Yeah, they're all the same, but, well, so, now you're also with Claudia Wells. You said you're involved with Claudia.
Kids in the Spotlight. I think you interviewed them last week, you said.
They're on, yeah.
Yes, I was on the board of that, and that's for inner city kids to find useful ways to channel their energy in creative things, because I think a lot of times kids get into trouble when they have too much time on their hands and they're not being able to express themselves in positive ways. They're doing something negative. I would say shoot films, not people, but that's just what I made that up.
Oh, it's good. No, it's true. I would have been a lot better off if I had taken your advice.
It is true though that if you get somebody interested in something that's productive and it's fulfilling and it's meaningful to them. I used to teach reading, and I would always have children write their own stories because they could use their native language, the language that they know. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're reading a foreign Spot. You don't care who Spot is. You don't care about Dick and Jane. You care about your family. You care about what you love doing. You would write a story about that, and then you would learn to read that more than anything else, and you could come home and read that to your parents because it's your language that came from your heart and came from, you know, what you know. So I had kids reading that were kindergartners. It was incredible. It was great. Yeah. I felt like that would be another thing I would like to write about.
I was going to say, that would make a very interesting book to have all of the, you know, the different stories that the kids write in a book.
Well, you'd be surprised, even their artwork. I had 4-year-olds that would do this amazing stuff by just free-forming, you know, colors of paints, and you could hang that in a gallery. Some of it is so fabulous, it's just amazing. And, you know, people take for granted the kids don't know some things because they're so young, but you would be shocked at how much wisdom sometimes comes out of their mouth. It's shocking. It's great.
It really is, yeah. I mean, just because you're young doesn't mean you don't understand, especially today.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
well
so
the media,
much
it's impossible for anybody to know everything anymore. But with the sources of Google and the internet, I mean, it's so easy for people to just read about anything at the touch of a button, yeah. You know, having your phone, all your resources at hand.
Right there, yeah. Do you have a website or anything? There's how people can get in touch
I
with you?
have Joycelyne, it's JoyCelyne.com. I was able to get that because my name is so weird. And then I've got finalprint.com, and that tells about all the different kinds of things we do. We just did t-shirts for Angeline, and I love just meeting all these people too. It's so much fun. And I worked with Teen Cancer day before yesterday. Was it yesterday? Maybe it was yesterday. You know, my life is so busy, I can't remember. That's Roger Daltrey's from the WHO, you know, his charity.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we have a lot of, and Shaka Khan has curatism. We have a lot of different charities, and I always, you know, like to help give them a deal. And
Well, you like to help,
Yeah, I do.
which is really nice. Well, I want to really, this has been an unexpected pleasure to have you on the Method Actor Speaks, and I hope you're going to hang around because we're going to talk someone else. And then I wonder if I would love to have both of you get on and interview each other about things, because I know he has a lot to say. But if you want to come on the show, just get in touch with me, John Solari. And this will be up tonight. What is today, October 23rd?
Yes, October 23rd, the year of our Lord 2013. But you can go back to the other calendars, actually, the Babylonian, and it might
Different
not
calendar.
be. Yeah, it might be a different year.
Okay. Well, thank you, and we'll be back with part 2. I mean, I'm going to, hopefully, because you're too good to lose.